Don't gotta be oh, baby, no, it'll be okay.
Very seldom in my life do I make practice of using the word hate. I think it's an ugly emotion that, quite frankly, I don't have time for. But there is one thing that I do hate. Women like the one that I'm about to show you. Ones that have strapped themselves with the oppression of other women, women who lived years before us, or women who are going through it on the opposite side of the world, going through things that would never affect women up here in the West, but instead they arm themselves with the oppression of those women and use it to degrade and dehumanize men and walk around perfectly fine, no fear of social consequences from society because, hey, she's a woman and she can get away with it. But before I start this off, over 78% of you guys watch me, but you're not subscribed. And honestly, I don't mean to be like that creator, but come on. I really appreciate making content for you guys. And when you subscribe, that means that you'll see my content more often. And truthfully, I absolutely love making content for you guys. And men's issues are important, they're valid, and they need to be widely heard because feminism has an agenda, and typically that's not really something that I buy into. I never really have, but it's clear more than ever that the agenda is to pretend that women, especially up here in the West, are far more oppressed than they actually are, while benefiting off of the crumbles and scraps of patriarchy that's left.
I really don't give a rat's ass. If the male species is depleting, okay.
What?
You guys have had your time to shine. If you guys want to get better, you guys can do that yourselves, but I'm not going to get you out of the slump. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry,
What?
it's just like, I don't really care. Like, that's on you guys.
I'm sorry, men have had their time. So because historically women didn't have the same opportunities as men, you think that men who are born in this generation, who had absolutely nothing to do with that and didn't have anything to do with patriarchy, you think that they just deserve to suffer. I mean, I haven't even watched the podcast episode yet, and something tells me that she's either a stripper or has OnlyFans. So it's funny that, again, I'm only assuming, but if she is one of those things, that means that she would have used men to get herself out of the slum. I want to break this down a little bit more. Let's watch this again. I'm sorry. I apologize to your brain cells and mine.
I really don't give a rat's ass. If the male species is depleting.
So she's talking about the suicide rate there. She doesn't give a rat's ass if men are killing themselves, if the suicide rate for gay men is higher. She doesn't care. Oh, okay.
You guys have had your time to shine. If you guys want to get better, you guys can do that yourselves, but I'm not going to get you out of the slump. Sorry.
So I have a question. How are men supposed to get better themselves when society has stigmatized them into believing that because they're men, there should be nothing to get better from? What part of social stigma based off of gender do you not fucking understand? Oh my God, you look like a blow-up doll.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, it's just like, I don't really care. Like, that's on you guys.
I don't really care. That's on you guys. What a typical feminist response. What a typical societal response. We don't give a fuck, men. I want you to build our roads, fucking build our society, listen to our problems, solve our problems. But when it comes to yours, shut the fuck up about it. We just simply don't want to hear it. And I want to know where this dumb bitch gets off. Because to be honest, she has a dad. And truthfully, if I had a daughter that acted like that, I would be fucking suicidal. So I just wonder if she thinks about like her father, all the men that she's used in her life to profit and get where she is now. Just super curious about what her feelings are towards those men. Listen, Feminists, if you want to be like this girl and only care about domestic violence issues for women, then that's fine. But more than 200 studies have found gender symmetry in perpetration when it comes to factors and motives of domestic violence. What this means is that men and women are doing it equally. Women are not less likely to commit violence and violent crimes. In fact, they're slightly more likely to, because of things like social stigma, such as women are weak and incapable of doing things like that. So if you want to only fight the domestic violence rate for victims of that are females, then that's fine. But please just admit to the fact that you're ignoring 50% of the issue. If you want to only make the streets safer for women to walk at night, that's fine, I get it. But in the UK alone, men are 3 times more likely than women to be victims of stranger violence. So please just acknowledge the fact that you're ignoring 75% of the issue. And if you only want to advocate for women who were sexually assaulted, that's fine. But in asking 40,000 households about rape and sexual violence, a survey uncovered that 38% were male victims. So if that's just one survey and 40,000 people, then we can probably guesstimate that you are ignoring 38% of the issue. What about the cases where children are abused? Children are more likely to be abused by their mothers and killed by their mothers. So should we say to those victims, no, you don't matter because it's a woman doing it to you, it's your mother? Or what about combating global rates of female genital mutilation? Did you know that the majority of the doctors performing that are women? Should we say to those poor, helpless victims, oh, it's a woman doing it to you? Here's the thing, you can continue, feminists, to sit there and play oppression Olympics and men had their time, but at the end of the day, you are bleeding all over men who never even fucking cut you in the first place. And society isn't really patriarchal, especially up here in the West. Sure, when we come to politics, yeah, there are a lot of men, more men than women, but I'm pretty sure we have the power to vote, which more men vote than women. So why are we being lazy? But when it comes to education, women are surpassing men. When it comes to the homeless rate, women are far less dealing with that. When it comes to the suicide rate, the addiction rate, the list really goes on. So I must ask you, ladies, what part of patriarchy still exists? Like, what part of it are you smashing? Because the only part of the patriarchy that I think you're smashing is your husband that you go home to every night. You know, the one who pays all your bills, provides for you, the one who you would be nowhere without? Yeah, that's what I thought. No fucking dick. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and please listen to my podcast, Roma's Man Cave. Episode 17 is out now and it's performing incredibly fucking well. I'm reviewing an ASMR of a woman just straight up degrading men and telling them that their penis is smaller than a clitoris. I don't know. I'm so sorry, but it is what it is. Make sure you go listen to it. Thank you.